Welcome to Spectator Sport, sponsored by SpectatorSporting.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adi Wally.
We are at the Raw Cutting Room, located 2022 West 119th Street in Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to Roger Williams for letting us do his show at his facility. We got a big show for that. We're doing a big-time NFL preview.
No doubt.
This is episode number 16. Joe Montana, the clutchest quarterback of all time. Now, let's just get right to it. We got to start with the home team, the NFC North. NFC North is rough this year.
Right.
Minnesota was in the NFC Championship game last year. The Packers have Aaron Rodgers back. He was hurt last year. Now he's full throttle, ready to go. The Bears are much improved, and the Lions pretty much stayed the same. What's your thoughts on the NFC North?
Well, yeah, I know the Vikings got the you like that guy, Kirk Cousins and everything like that. But I'm going with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is healthy, and the Packers, that offense, they're going to score close to 30 points a game. Okay, but I really like what they did on defense, where they needed a lot of help on. In the first round, they traded up to grab the cornerback, Jair Alexander. He's very physical. He likes to bump and run. He has great awareness out there on the field. He's extremely fast. He ran a 4.38 40. He's going to help out that secondary. Okay, then also the big guy, Muhammad Wilkerson. They got him from the Jets on the defensive line. He's going to join current Pro Bowler Mike Daniels on that D-line. Don't forget about Clay Matthews.
Yes.
The Packers, they're going to take the NFC North this year.
I want to disagree with you so bad, but I just can't. And for all the reasons you said, but the number one reason, the best player in the NFL plays on the Green Bay Packers, and that's Aaron Rodgers. And whenever you got Aaron Rodgers, you're going to have a chance to win every game. And I feel like the games are going to be close, but when it comes down to it, he's going to win them the game. So I got the Packers winning the NFC North. Anybody else in the NFC North we need to watch for?
Well, yeah, the Vikings, of course. I like them. I got them making the wild card team. That defense with safety Harrison Smith, cornerback Xavier Rose, and Everson Griffin on at defensive end. Those guys are monsters, okay? They was number one in the NFL in points allowed per game. The most important defensive stat, okay? Now, also, they're getting a running back, Delvin Cook. He's back. He was a rookie last year.
Big return.
Yeah, so everybody talking about Kirk Cousins, but that guy, that running back, Delvin Cook, is going to help them out a lot. But what I don't like is the kicking situation. They got kicker Daniel Carson. They picked him in the 5th round. He's a rookie. I don't feel comfortable with that. Also, Joe Berger, offensive lineman, solid guy. He was on the line for many years in Minnesota, but he retired, okay? So now a rookie may start O'Neal, the rookie, in the 2nd round. So I don't know. I don't feel too comfortable about that. The Minnesota Vikings, their offensive line been kind of shaky. So I'm picking them as a wild card, though.
The Vikings, I think they're going to make the wild card too. But one thing they got to remember, last year, having the number one defense in the league, they got tore apart in the NFC Championship game by the Eagles. So I know they got a lot on their mind. They want redemption. So that will be a tough competitor for Green Bay, because one thing they can do is get after the quarterback, and they got the cornerbacks that can man up against Green Bay receivers. But the one thing going against Green Bay, what they don't have an answer for is Jimmy Graham.
Right.
And that is a fact. So we both in agreement. We both got the Packers winning division, and we both got the Vikings making the playoffs.
We didn't pick the Bears to make the playoffs.
No, well, the Bears, like I said before, they are a very much improved team. They got a better quarterback situation, they got better coaching, and they got better weapons around Mitch. But it's just the NFC is just so tough with the Packers, who've improved, and they got Aaron Rodgers back, and they added weapons, and they added to the defense. And the Vikings, even though Case Keenum was a solid quarterback, Kirk Cousins is an upgrade from Case Keenum.
No doubt.
So, but go Bears. NFC South. Now, the NFC South has produced, I mean, they've been loaded. I mean, Carolina went to the Super Bowl recently. Atlanta went to the Super Bowl recently. The Saints were in the playoffs last year. So they've been doing really, really good. What's your thoughts on the NFC South?
I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons, okay? The Atlanta Falcons, let's not forget, they easily beat the Rams in the playoffs last year. And then in the next round, they barely lost to the Super Bowl champs, Eagles, on the last play of the game. In the previous season, they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. Yes, they blew a 28-3 lead, but let's forget about that. They did make it to the Super Bowl.
Did they forget about it?
Yeah, well, they came back last season to make it to the playoffs, got a playoff win.
That's true.
Okay, and Vic Beasley, they played him out of position a little bit last year. He's playing outside linebacker and defensive end. Now he's permanently at defensive end, where he led the NFL in sacks with 16 in 2016, okay? Also, their middle linebacker, Deion Lewis, he's very fast, makes big plays. Look out for him. He's a rising star. I'm taking the Falcons to win that division.
I got the Carolina Panthers.
Wow.
I'm going Cam Newton and company. I still think they got the best defense in the NFC South. And I feel like Cam Newton is going to want to respond to a lot of critics he had last year. I think he's going to become ready to play. I think them drafting DJ Moore was a huge addition to their offense. They can already run the football. You already got Greg Olsen, and I think Cam Newton will lead this and win this division this year. A very tough division because we can talk Saints. The Saints are just as good with Alvin Kamara in the running game, strong running game, but I got Cam Newton and Carolina Panthers.
Well, the Panthers, I don't even get them going to the playoffs this year, okay? I think they put too much. They really think Cam Newton is Superman. Like, he's a human, okay? You can't make him do everything, okay? The running backs last year only averaged 3.5 yards per carry, okay? They asked him to do too much. Then they lost the All-Pro guard, Andrew Norwell, to the Jaguars. Okay, so I'm taking the Saints to win, to make it to the wild card, okay? The offensive line is very underrated. They were second in sacks allowed per game, second in rushing yards per play. I'm going with them. Their defense is stout with Cameron Jordan, he all-pro defensive guy, and also the defensive rookie of the year, Marshawn Lattimore is there. I can't find too many weaknesses with the Saints. I'm picking them to make the wild card.
The Saints, this was the toughest division to pick because, I mean, you could pick either one except for Tampa Bay. You can't pick them. But as a wild card, I'm going Falcons. And now it's a toss-up between them and the Saints. I'm going to go Falcons because of the weaponry they got on offense. They got the running game, and then drafting Corey Ridley was a huge addition to go along with Julio Jones. And then they still got Sanu, and they got weapons.
Freeman at running back.
Yes, absolutely. Coleman as well. And Matt Ryan, he don't get he doesn't be considered one of the upper echelon quarterbacks, but he's been in the playoffs every year, long as we can remember. So he's been doing his thing, but that's going to be a very tough division. That can go either way. I got the Panthers winning, and I got the Falcons in the wild card.
Yeah, it's hard to pick these wild card teams and these NFC teams who going to win a division, make the wild card. It's a very tough division, man.
Yes, absolutely. You're watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. We're live at the Raw Cutting Room. When we come back, we got the NFC East and the NFC West. We'll be back. Welcome back to Spectator Sport, sponsored by SpectatorSporting.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adewale.
This is episode number 16. We call it the Joe Montana edition. Go to SpectatorSporting.com for previous shows, previous clips. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Man, there's a lot of stuff on there, a lot of things happening. We are live and located at the Raw Cutting Room on 2022 West 119th Street. You want to get you a fade, come here. You want to get fresh, you want to go out, make sure you come here and check them out. Owned by my main man, Roger Williams. Now, we just talked about the North and the South of the NFC. Now we're going to finish it off with the East and the West. Let's talk NFC East. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champions, had a big time year. Carson Wentz is back. Well, we think he's back. Right. You got the Giants, got Odell Beckham back. They drafted Saquon Barkley. Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott, no more suspension looming. And now the Redskins have Alex Smith at quarterback. So it's a lot of different changes going on in the NFC. Adrian Peterson, who's really he wants to shut everybody up. He's already said he wants to shut everyone up. What's your thoughts on the NFC East?
Wait, I'm pretty hesitant to pick the Eagles to win a division because of the Carson Wentz situation. We don't know if he's going to play game one. He may miss the first couple of games of the season, okay? And Nick Foles, he looked horrible in the preseason. The first string offense didn't score not 1 point in the preseason. I know it's not supposed to matter, but it looked ugly when you're getting sacked for safeties and losing fumbles on sacks and throwing a couple of picks in the game. And so also Alshon Jeffrey, he's going to miss 2 to 3 games because of a shoulder injury, okay? But you know what? I think about Michael Bennett. They made that trade for Michael Bennett from the Seahawks to be on the D-line to join the unsung hero Brandon Graham on that D-line, and the leader of that D-line, Fletcher Cox. Okay, they're going to hold it down. They're going to hold it down for the first quarter of the season until Carson Wentz gets healthy and Jeffrey and them. I'm picking the Eagles to win that division.
This was another tough one to pick because only one team is coming out this division. They're going to beat each other up. I don't think no wild cards coming out this team. It's possible, but I don't think it is. But I'm going with the Giants. I'm going, I know Eli Manning has not been good. I mean, I constantly make the joke he's Jay Cutler with 2 Super Bowl rings. But him getting Odell Beckham back, and now the Giants have a reliable running back, a potential. He hasn't done anything yet. A potential superstar at running back. and their defense that's already pretty good. I got the Giants winning this division, and it's going to be tough. Only reason I can't pick the Eagles is because of the quarterback situation.
Wow.
If Wentz isn't ready to go, we got to look at what happened last year. I know Nick Foles won the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl, but prior to that, he didn't play good. He didn't play good. You know, so we got to
play real good in the last 2 games.
Yeah, when it counted. So I give him credit for that. But I got the Giants. I think the Giants are going to have a resurgence year. I think Saquon Barkley is going to be one of the top rushers in the league. And Odell Beckham, who just got paid a handsome amount of money, is gonna tear it up. He's ready to show everybody he's got a lot to prove as well. So I got the Giants.
Yeah, I was thinking about picking the Giants, but you know what? They do have great skilled players, Odell Beckham Jr., Barkley, all those guys, Evan Ingram at tight end. But I just look at that O-lineman, Eric Flowers. He played left tackle last year. He was one of the worst starting offensive linemen in the NFL. So they signed Nate Soldier from the Patriots. They gonna put him at left tackle, but they still starting Eric Flowers at right tackle. You can't hide the guy, you know. So I didn't pick the Giants to make the playoffs.
I mean, I can understand that. Who's your wild card contender in this?
Well, you know what? I was thinking about taking the Cowboys, but I couldn't take them because they got the guy, they center, Pro Bowl center, Travis Frederick. He has a rare illness, so he may miss the season. Also, I don't like what they did to replace the Hall of Fame tight end, Jason Witten, okay? They got Rico Gathers. He was a basketball player at Baylor, but he has very little experience, so he's supposed to replace him. I don't know about that. I just don't feel comfortable with that. So I got the Eagles winning division, no wild cards in the NFC East.
And I got the Giants, no wild cards coming out the NFC. You know me, I wanted to pick the Cowboys really bad because I want to see Zeke Elliott. You know, that's one of my favorite players, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Now, we got to see how their defense is going to be this year. Their defense has been the weakness of this team for a pretty while. Now, you got some good players on that defense. Their offensive line, they're going to be able to run the ball. But they're missing some receivers. We don't know who's going to be the playmakers on that team. They're all inexperienced. So, and Dak Prescott, the verdict is still out now. This is a big year for Dak Prescott right now. The NFC West. This used to be the Seahawks division.
Right.
Seahawks of San Francisco. Not no more. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Seahawks still have Russell Wilson, one of the best quarterbacks in the game. San Francisco now has Jimmy Garoppolo. You know, good. He finished the season 5-0 last year with the 49ers and got paid a good amount. So, what's your thoughts on the NFC West?
NFC West, I'm looking it over, and I was trying not to pick the Rams, but I just can't do it. I got to go with the Rams, okay? They lost Sammy Watkins at wide receiver. He led the team in touchdown catches last year, but he went to the Chiefs. He signed with the Chiefs, but they replaced him with Brandon Cooks, wide receiver from the Patriots, okay? So they won't miss a beat there. And then what was under the radar when the Rams made all them fireworks this offseason is safety. They franchise tagged their safety, LaMarcus Joyner, and according to Pro Football Focus, he was graded as the second best safety in the NFL. Wow. He'd get pick six, he'd get forced fumbles and things like that. So the guy, he's a rising star in the NFL. And so, of course, you know, they got Sue and the reigning defensive player of the year. He just got paid, right?
Yes, Aaron Donald. Absolutely.
Yeah, he just got paid.
He's going to be defensive player of the year again.
So, yeah, I had to go with the Rams to win that.
I picked the Rams, too. They got it all. If they don't win, it'll be a huge letdown for the Rams. I mean, you got one of the best running backs in Todd Gurley. Jared Goff has proven himself under Sean McVay that he can play quarterback. You picked up Brandon Cooks. You got Aaron Donald. You picked up Aqib Talib. You picked up another
Marcus Peters.
I mean, you loaded on defense, offense. You got it all. This team really should be thinking they got Super Bowl aspirations. This team do,
no doubt.
And so I got the Rams as well. What's another contender in this team we need to watch out for?
Like you mentioned, the 49ers. I like their young defense. Okay, Solomon Thomas and DeForest Buckner on the defensive line. You have middle linebacker Reuben Foster. He's been getting in trouble off the field, but he's suspended for the first couple of games for a couple of misdemeanors. But he'll be back in game 3. And of course, Richard Sherman is there to hold it down, to show those defensive guys how to play, how to be a leader. And so, you know, like you mentioned, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's 7-0. He's never lost a game in his life in the NFL, okay? He had a 96 quarterback rating last year. He looks pretty good. So I wanted to pick them to make the playoffs, but not this year.
The 49ers are much improved. They like the Bears to me. They're much improved, but I just can't go there yet. I think they need one more year. I think they need to boost up the team some more. I know Jimmy G is good, but now they have tape on him. Mm-hmm. The tape is out on him.
Right.
So now we'll see how he does when people know how to game plan for him. We'll see how he responds to that. Seattle, they got Russell Wilson, but they didn't improve that offensive line at all. That offensive line has been a problem. I mean, Russell Wilson, who's a great athlete, who can run around, who can make plays. You can't keep depending on a quarterback to do that his whole career. Mm-hmm. Eventually, he's going to wear down, taking all those hits and punishment. So I just couldn't pick Seattle for that reason. And the Legion of Boom is done. It's no, it's no boom no more. No boom. So I want to pick them, but I couldn't pick Seattle, so I think the 49ers would have the best chance.
Yeah, I like Seattle. I mean, then also the Cardinals, they have a very underrated defense. They was 4th in the NFL in yards allowed per game. The guy Chandler Jones led the NFL in sacks. So, like you mentioned, Russell Wilson running away from people. He's gonna be running away a lot in that NFC West. So, but he's Superman. He makes plays. He makes big plays.
He can win you 2-3 games alone.
Right.
There's no question. He's very clutch, and he always make big plays, but. Same with me. I don't have no wild card coming out that division either. Mm-hmm. I think it's just going to be the Rams. You're watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. When we come back, we're going to have our AFC predictions. We'll be back. Welcome back to Spectator Sporting, sponsored by SpectatorSporting.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adewale.
This is episode number 16. We call it the Joe Montana edition, the most clutch quarterback of all time. Make sure you go on SpectatorSporting.com, subscribe to that page. We got previous clips, previous shows. This show will be up there very soon. We at the Raw Cutting Room, located 2022 West 119th Street. Cole Barbershop, come get your fresh lining, come get your fro fade, come get your number 2, number 1. They do it all here. Get fresh. We talked about the NFC. We done broke that down. Let's talk about the AFC. Mm-hmm. The AFC, I don't know if it's as competitive as the NFC, but we'll start off with the AFC South. Last year, Jacksonville came out of nowhere, had a crushing defense. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the best defenses you will see in a while. But now you got Andrew Luck back with the Colts. Deshaun Watson, who tore his ACL, is back ready to go. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on the AFC South right now?
Well, like you said, the Jaguars, they had a great season. They came out of nowhere, made it to the AFC Championship game, but I'm not picking them to win a division. I'm going with the Houston Texans, all right? So Deshaun Watson, he's back, the young prodigy. He's coming back to play quarterback. He's going to lead them. He's a great leader, great quarterback. Also, J.J. Watt is back into the fold. He's coming back with Whitney Merciless, okay, joining Jadeveon Clowney. And don't forget the Honey Badger is with Houston, okay? So I'm going with the Houston Texans over the Jaguars to win the AFC South.
This was a tough one because I wanted to pick Jacksonville because I really love Ramsey. I love their defense, but I got to go with the Texans because of the quarterback play. Simple as that. Mm-hmm. Deshaun Watson, before he got hurt, was tearing the NFL up. I mean, he was showing that he was here, and he probably was the best quarterback to come out the draft last year.
Yeah.
But now he's coming off a torn ACL, and the way he plays, I still want to see him be able to run around, see if he has that elusive quickness that he had. But he can throw the ball, and he's a gamer. He's a guy, when the chips is all on the line, he's a guy that you want as your quarterback because he will produce. And they also have DeAndre Hopkins, and they have Will Fuller, the burner. So I got the Texans as well. You got a wild card team in this?
I'm picking the Jaguars as the wild card. Okay, they did lose Marquise Lee for the season in the preseason. They're leading wide receiver last year. He's out for the season.
You think they're going to pick Dez Bryant up?
I think the Browns are trying to get him. I think the Patriots are going to get Dez Bryant.
Okay.
But the Jaguars, they get that ground and pound game. They got the All-Pro guard Andrew Norwell from the Carolina Panthers. That was a sneaky good pickup right there. And Leonard Fournette, he's going to be running people over, doing spin moves. They like that ground and pound game. Make things easy for Blake Bortles. Yep. So I'm going with the Jaguars to go ahead and be the wild card.
I was looking at Tennessee, but Tennessee, I don't think they improved this offseason. Right. I know they got Marcus Mariota, who's a good quarterback. And I've looked at the Colts, Andrew Luck. I know I picked him to be comeback player, but we got to see. He hasn't played football in 2 years.
Right.
We have to see. And then the rest of the Colts team, I don't know if they just stack up. But the Texans and the Jaguars are loaded. I mean, both teams are full of Pro Bowlers. Mm-hmm. So I got to go Jacksonville. Yeah. I mean, Jacksonville, they, like you say, they run the football and they can lock you up. They can lock you up. They got two corners that can take your two corners out your wide receivers out the game. So I got to go with Jacksonville in that one. So I got Texas winning division, but it's going to be very close. I mean, you can really go either either way with Jacksonville or the Texans. Those games are going to be epic.
Yeah, no doubt.
I can't wait to see Jalen Ramsey against DeAndre Hopkins. That's going to be a big-time matchup. No question about it. The AFC North. I mean, this has pretty much been between the Steelers and the Ravens. Even though the Ravens the last few years haven't had it, the Bengals have been solid. They've made some couple playoffs. The Browns, well, they're the Browns. So, what do you think about this division?
Well, it's Steelers all day. Steelers all day, man. You know, even though they lost that guy, Ryan Shazier, he had the injury. Okay, when he was there, the defense was solid. They was only giving up 17 points a game. Then he got hurt. Then it shot up to 26 points a game. They got the former Bear, John Bostic, to play inside linebacker, try to take a spot, but he's a journeyman. Okay, but they do have T.J. Watt as a rookie last year. He had 7 sacks, so he's looking to improve his game. And so now Le'Veon Bell, he's doing this holdout thing. He's franchise tag.
Is this the 3rd year in a row or the 2nd year in a row he's had?
It seems like it's the 5th year in a row. Like every year, I'm just kind of like, I'm just stop paying attention to it. Like every year he's holding out, but I believe he's going to play. He's not going to get fined and lose all that money. He'll be there. Okay, the killer bees will be intact. Antonio Brown, Big Ben, and so that offense scoring close to 30 points a game is really going to take. They're going to take the division again. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
I got the Steelers too, but I think they got to get it done this year. If they don't get it done this year, this might be the end of an era for the Steelers. I mean, Mike Tomlin, he's on the hot seat this year. I mean, it's already been reported, like, if they don't win, and plus all the problems they had, all the talking, all the noise, Mike Tomlin's under pressure to get this team done because they have a lot of talent, as you said. They got probably the best receiver in football, Antonio Brown, one of the best quarterbacks in Ben Roethlisberger.
The best running back.
Yeah, the best running back. I mean, there's no excuses. This team should dominate this division. There should be no problem.
Right.
Any other team that you've seen in this division?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned the Ravens, and I just can't believe they was the 2nd worst team in the NFL in yards per play, okay? So I can't believe that Marty Morningwig, he kept his job. They should have fired the guy, the offensive coordinator. So the Ravens, they special teams and defense is good, but they just been mediocre the last 2 to 3 seasons. And the Browns, I do like what I see with them in the preseason with Myles Garrett. He had a sack for a safety. He had a couple of sacks, and this guy looks like he's going to be an all-pro and playing with Jamie Collins, the guy they got from the linebacker they got from the Patriots. And Denzel Ward, the rookie, 4th overall pick. They took over Bradley Chubb. So the Browns, I'm looking forward to. I know the Baker Mayfield and Tyrod Taylor thing is going on a lot, back and forth with that. Who they going to start? But the
it's
defense,
better than last year. Either option is better than what they had last year.
Yeah. So, the Browns ain't going to be much, like you said, like the 49ers and the Bears, going to be much improved, but no playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. The Bengals, they re-signed a couple of their players, but I don't see Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, he is who he is. I don't think he can get any better. A.J. Green has been with the Bengals for a minute. He's been putting up great numbers. I just don't see the improvement from the Bengals to say they can compete with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just don't really see it. So I don't know. That was a tough one to call because the wild card in the AFC was really hard to call.
Yeah,
absolutely. But before we get, let's talk about the AFC. Let's talk about the well, hold on. Before we talk about anything else, you've been watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. When we come back, we're gonna have the AFC West and the AFC East. We'll be back. Welcome back to Spectator Sporting, sponsored by SpectatorSporting.com. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adewale.
This is episode number 16. We call it the Joe Montana edition. Very, very clutch. Make sure you go on SpectatorSporting.com and subscribe to the page, the YouTube page. Plenty of shows, previous clips. We are at the Raw Cutting Room, located 2022 West 119th Street. Come get your fresh fade, get your fresh cut, do it all. Get you right to go. Shout out to my main man, Roger Williams. He owns the shop. Make sure y'all come check him out. Now let's talk about the rest of the AFC. The AFC West. I mean, this division has been a little weird. The Chiefs, they lost Alex Smith. Now they put in Patrick Mahomes. Denver, they have Case Keenum at quarterback now. They always have a strong defense. The Raiders had plenty of injuries last. They had so much going on. We don't know what happened with Derek Carr coming from the year before. And then you got the San Diego Chargers, who have a lot of talent.
Los Angeles Chargers.
Sorry, Los Angeles Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers, who have a lot of talent,
Right.
But it's always something that's holding them back. We don't know exactly what it is. What's your thoughts on the AFC West?
Yeah, it's a lot going on in the AFC West,
Yes.
man. It's a lot of drama going on in the AFC West. You know what? I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers to go ahead and win this division. The first time since 2009. They have an 8-year drought. Okay, I like the guy, Keenan Allen. He's the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL.
Yep.
He had 1,393 yards last year, 102 receptions, okay? Also, they get the guy Mike Williams. He was a 2017 first-round pick. He was hurt last year. He joins forces with Keenan Allen. Okay, and on the defensive side of the ball, I know they lost Jason Verrett, the cornerback, for the second straight year, but Trevon Williams stepped in nicely for him. They also have Casey Hayward, who's a top-notch corner.
Top-notch.
Okay, and you got Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram. I picked Derwin James to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm going with the Chargers to win that AFC West.
I thought I was by myself on this one, but yes, I am picking the LA Chargers. No question about it. They got the talent, they got the defense, they got the Pro Bowlers. They can get after the quarterback, and Phillip Rivers still don't get the credit he deserves. So I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers as well.
I'll probably just call them the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, it's okay, but yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. They're loaded. They got good running game, like you say. Keenan Allen,
Right.
Phillip Rivers can throw the ball all over the field. I feel like this is their year. If they don't win it this year, I don't know when they're ever going to win it, because Denver, they don't have a quarterback situation. They've been having problems on offense for the last couple years. The Raiders, now they did get Martavius Bryant. That was a good pickup. But they haven't signed Khalil Mack yet. What are they doing? What are they waiting on?
You know what? They losing their minds because. All right, so they signed Derek Carr, $25 million a year, and then they give John Gruden a $100 million contract. And to me, I think he's overrated. Okay,
Absolutely.
In 2002, he did win a Super Bowl, but in the next six seasons, he didn't win not one playoff game. And he left the game in coaching in 2008. All right, now he's coming back. You give him $100 million. I would rather give that money to Khalil Mack, okay?
Absolutely.
They definitely should have paid that guy. And I don't know what they think about trading him, but I'll be shocked if they trade that guy.
Well, as a Bears fan, I hope we trade for him.
Right.
Because Khalil Mack is a beast. He's up there with Aaron Donald and all of them. So they need to sign him. But the Raiders do have, I will say, they probably have the best quarterback in the division in Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. I will tell you, though, I think the Broncos are going to make the wild card. I'm picking the Broncos to be the wild card, and get one of the wild card spots in AFC because, you know, they lost Aqib Talib, but Bradley Roby will step in, okay? They just signed Pac-Man Jones, veteran from cornerback from the Bengals, okay? So, and Chris Harris Jr., he's still there. So, don't think there's still a no-fly zone going on in Mile High, okay? And also, Case Keenum, I think, is very underrated, okay? He led the Vikings to the NFC Championship game, and he's replacing Trevor Siemian. So that's an upgrade. I'm going to pick the Broncos to make the wild card in the AFC.
I wanted to pick the Broncos, but I'm actually going with the Raiders. Because if Derek Carr, I feel like if Derek Carr is healthy, I feel like they have the offense. They could be explosive on offense, and they're going to be able to score points. And the Broncos, yes, they have a very tough defense. I mean, you talk about Von Miller, and in addition to Bradley Chubb, they're going to get after the quarterback. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to put that ball in the end zone. You have to be able to score points. And I just don't trust that the Broncos are going to be able to score enough points. They're going to be close in games, but you got to win them. I don't know if, as good as Case Keenum was last year, that was a one-year thing. If you look at his other years before that, it's a reason why he's been a journeyman. So I'm actually picking the Raiders to come out the wild card. And
no love for the Chiefs, huh?
The Chiefs, I think they undervalue Alex Smith. I think they really undervalue. Now, Patrick Mahomes, he does have the golden arm. His arm, man, he can throw that ball 70, 80 yards down the field. But Alex Smith is a leader. And he's a guy that he wins. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's seen it all. So I think they undervalue Alex Smith a little bit.
He led the league in quarterback rating last year.
And so I just think they just got rid of that like that was nothing. And I just, just be careful with it. Just be careful with that because Mahomes, the expectations is high on him now. He can't just, because you replace Alex Smith, who's been to the playoffs the last few years. I mean, they didn't win, they didn't go to Super Bowl, but he has got you there every year. You're always in contention. So, but they are going to be good. But I think the Raiders have the better quarterback play, and I'm going with the Raiders. I mean, do we even got to talk about this division? The AFC East, I mean, is it the New England Patriots again? Do we even got to go through this?
Yeah, they have the record. They're going to extend their record for consecutive division titles, okay, to 10.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they lost Deion Lewis, the very productive running back, to the Titans. no big deal.
Yeah.
Then in the first round, they signed Sonny Michel.
Yeah.
Okay, this running back star from Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they get that guy Donta Hightower. He was out with a pec. He tore his pec muscle last year. He was out for the season. He comes back. He's a leader of the defense, so he's gonna help them out tremendously. So yeah, once again for the 10th straight year, the Patriots.
I really want to see some competition in this division. Now the Jets, the two teams are going with the Jets are going with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, they traded Teddy Bridgewater.
They say, Teddy, they flipped him for a third rounder, so I give them credit for that.
Sent him to the Saints.
Yeah, but the Sam Darnold is starting, and then you look at Buffalo, Allen is starting, and then Miami, Ryan Tannehill is coming back from an ACL injury. There's just no competition in that division, and I hope I'm wrong. I mean, Buffalo have some good players.
They made the playoffs last year, but then they got rid of T-Mobile.
Yeah, they got rid of that's another team that undervalued their quarterback, Tyreek Taylor. Now you finna see what life is like without him. So I want to see some competition. I just don't see it. Hopefully someone proves me wrong in this division, but I just do not see it. I mean, Sam Darnold, who's going to be a good quarterback in this league maybe one day, not rookie year. He's not going to just take the Jets his rookie year.
Yeah.
And same with Buffalo. It's just
Josh Allen. They might start Peterman, but he's not good.
I mean, just start Allen. Stop playing. Stop playing. And the Dolphins, I mean, we'll see. They was in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Right.
But Ryan Tannehill is back from injury. Adam Gase, he's in a big year for the Dolphins. But once again, I just don't see no improvement to compete with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't see it at all.
So your wild card teams, I have the Raiders and Jaguars. Who did you have?
I have the Jaguars and I have the Broncos.
That's interesting. So we both have the Jaguars. But we both agree on a little. All right. You're watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. When we come back, we're gonna pick our AFC and NFC Championship games and our Super Bowl winner. We'll be back. Welcome back to Spectator Sport. I'm Zach Roach.
I'm Adewale.
You're watching episode number 16. We call it the Joe Montana edition. Make sure you go to SpectatorSporting.com and subscribe on the YouTube page. Previous shows, previous clips. This show will be up there very soon. And by the way, my man has written some dope articles on there. Go ahead and debate him. Tell him he's wrong. Tell him he's right. Whatever you want to do. We are at the Raw Cutting Room, located 2022 West 119th Street in Chicago, Illinois. Raw dope barbershop. You want to get fresh, you want to go out this weekend, make sure you come up here and get that lining together. We talked about all our teams we thought was going to win the division. Now let's get to the granddaddy of them all. Let's start with the AFC.
Okay.
Who you got? Who are two teams you think are going to be competing to go to Super Bowl in the AFC Championship game?
Yeah, I'm glad you started with the easy part. The Patriots are going to be in the AFC Championship game. Okay, and they're going to be playing the Chargers.
Yeah.
I'm saying Patriots versus the Chargers in the AFC Championship game.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like the Chargers. I like their linebackers with Bosa and Derwin James, the rookie, and their wide receivers. Phillip Rivers, he deserves it. Just have him to make a little run this time.
They played in the AFC Championship game in 2007. That was actually a good game. So maybe it's a rematch.
Right.
Who knows? I got the Texans against the Patriots.
Wow.
I got the Texans. I believe in Deshaun Watson. If he's healthy and if he's ready to go and he's Deshaun Watson, the athletic Deshaun Watson will throw the ball and run with that strong defense and those weapons on the outside, I think it's going to be the Patriots versus the Texans in the AFC Championship game.
We left off the Pittsburgh Steelers. We left off the Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jaguars, I think they're going to be a second round. They'll win a playoff game. But once the Steelers, as much as I just sit up here and said how good they are on offense, their defense is not that good. And I think once you get in the playoff game, and if they have to play the Jaguars or the Texans, those teams can play defense. So you're not just going to be able to just run up the score on them. And if they can't stop Deshaun Watson and them, that's going to be an issue. So I just feel like from top to bottom, the Texans are a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers are. Yeah,
that's why I didn't pick the Steelers. Their defense is kind of soft.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're going to score points. Big Ben is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But I got the Patriots versus the Texans.
NFC, I'm going with the Green Bay Packers. And the Atlanta Falcons. Packers versus Falcons. Yeah, and I believe they played each other a couple years ago in the NFC Championship game. A rematch. The Falcons blew out the Packers. They really easily beat them. They demolished them a couple years ago. So this would be a rematch for Green Bay in the NFC Championship game.
I got the Packers versus the Panthers. I got Cam Newton against Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game. Look, Cam Newton, I know maybe I'm showing too much blind faith in Cam Newton, but I feel like he's got a couple additional weapons. I know he's missing something, but I feel like that defense is strong. They're going to be able to run the ball, and they're going to play tough football. He's got something to prove. I got Carolina against the Packers. And I got the Panthers going to the Super Bowl. Absolutely. So I got the Panthers versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And you have who?
Well, in the Super Bowl, I'm going to go with the Packers versus the Patriots. Green Bay Packers versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
That's gonna be tough because I got Aaron Rodgers winning MVP, but I just get so it's just they're gonna be NFC Championship game, and I think it's gonna be a classic. But the NFC is hard to call. But I got the Panthers. I think Cam Newton gonna get to his second Super Bowl. Who's gonna win it?
Going with Green Bay.
Yeah.
Going with Green Bay. It's about time. It's about time Aaron Rodgers get that ring. He hears the whispers like he can't be one of the best quarterbacks of all time because he don't have that ring and things like that. And so, and Tom Brady, he got lucky on a few Super Bowl rings. You know what I'm saying? He should have lost to the Seahawks. Should have lost to the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, now he's really going to lose this one. All right, so I'm going with Green Bay. They're going to beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl.
I got the Panthers beating the Patriots. Now I know it's crazy that we're both picking the Patriots, but I just look at the competition they play against in the AFC compared to what the NFC has to go through. Even if the Panthers don't come, they would probably have to play the Packers. They would probably have to play the Falcons. They might have to play the Vikings on their way there. Teams like that. Play the Rams. Wait, speaking of Rams, no love for the Rams. I know they got no Super Bowl love for the Rams.
Yeah, they got a little dream team, little all-star team. It's gonna get them to the playoffs, but I don't think it's gonna get them to the Super Bowl.
No love for the Rams.
No.
What about the Vikings?
The Vikings, like I said, that rookie kicker, the offensive line, I don't really believe in that. And then Kirk Cousins, he hasn't proved that he can win in the playoffs. I don't even believe in Kirk Cousins, so no, I couldn't pick the Vikings.
Absolutely. So yeah, I got the Panthers, but the NFC team. I'm always gonna pick. It's kind of like the NBA, like when LeBron was in Cleveland, like he wasn't playing nobody. But when you play against Western Conference teams, it's a whole different animal. These teams are talented. Now I know Tom Brady is probably the GOAT, the best quarterback of all time. You can argue, but I'm going with the Panthers winning the Super Bowl. That's probably a shocker to most people.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
So
right, you need to bet on that or something.
I might send that to Vegas and put $5 on it.
Right.
You've been watching Spectator Sporting on SpectatorSporting.com. We want to thank Roger Williams for letting us do this show. Make sure you come here. This show is located 2022 West 119th Street. It is called the Raw Cutting Room. Come get fresh. Come get your line in. Next show, we're going to have a week 1 preview. Until then, we out.